These logos are turning out so good. I'm trying different sizes here for fridge magnets, and I'm going to have my QR code on the back of them. And I'm trying the same depth and seeing how the different sizes correlate and which ones look the best. So I go up and down by about 5% in size and keep the depth at 6 millimeters, which I think works well for refrigerator magnets. And my idea is if I have the QR code on the back and the next logo on the front or a refrigerator magnet, and you guys ever need to order next stuff from me in the future, you'll simply be able to scan in, scan the QR code, and it'll take you right to the website. I'll just let it run here and show you how well it does here. So I believe this is going to be the final layer touch-ups. And I think I've got the pallet matched up here. I used the official Next pallets, so to match the filaments to. So I'm really trying to do my best to make as good of a replication of Paul Rand's logo as possible. And I do have permission to do this with my long-standing 30-year contract with Next and then Apple to produce promotional materials. And often what I'm doing now is just throwing one of these in with a customer purchase, and everyone that has one so far thinks it's a pretty neat idea. So feel free to like and subscribe, and I will, there should be a QR code that's going to come up. I'm going to see if I can implement it to come up at the end of my videos, which makes sense. And I'm taking QR codes to a whole new level as well. So yeah, this H2D printer's phenomenal. I just got a 4th printer in. They were having a incredible 3-year anniversary sale. So I bought one of their lower end models. It's a P1P, as I had bought a bunch of components when I was starting out last year that were good for the P1P and not for the X1Cs in this H2D. So it's going to get a little bit of an upgrade. It's actually a P1PS. And so it'll have a nice touch screen and hot ends, and it'll be comparable to the X1C, I'm told, when I get done with it. And it was only like $400 or something. I got the extras on it, so it wound up being around, because I got another one of these AMS 2 Pros, and I'll probably use one of the older just standard AMSs with it. But I find that I've often got 1 or 2 printers down for whatever reason. Case in point, the X1C. Seems like half of your battle is repairing the printers when hot ends get jammed or other components. But fortunately, with my repair skills with Next computers, it's kind of translated over and really helped me maintain these and dial in these H2D printers. And Bamboo Labs makes some really quality products, which I appreciate. And they don't gouge people on the prices as well if you need replacement parts. Those were on sale, so I did pick up some of those. I'll probably make some maintenance videos, how to. Yeah, having fun. And I've got my 4x8 table down here because I got a lot of projects that came in. I'm going to go ahead and build another rolling cart like this one for the P1PS, and I thought I could maybe show that one. I've got this new light back here. It's supposed to be really nice. You've got adjustable settings on it. And I was going to show you guys this really cool projector here For 35 bucks, it does a wall-size projector, and it's really neat. I mean, it's good quality. So I'll probably have all this stuff for sale here eventually on my shop. I've taken a few AI courses this over the weekend, so now I know how to do prompts. I know how to do graphics and create real nice custom advertisements. And it's pretty cool because I can actually sell these things. So with a quality prompt, it'll generate amazing AI. And now I'm on to how to create, use AI Jasper. Let's see, I was using the mid-level. It's called mid-level, I believe, for graphics. And so there's 30 different modules. I was kind of procrastinating on them, so I decided I better get my butt in gear. And because I found out they do have a monthly fee, but I was going to protest it a little bit until I got into it. And I will probably make a video showing how cool that is as well, because I think you guys will get a kick out of it, because there's a lot of people on the fence about doing it. And I believe it's from, I want to say Core IV, or it's a European company, and everything's in Spanish. Then you translate it to English with just a button. And really easy to use. It kind of takes you through step by step. It's been a while since I've been to school, and so it gives you in context. I mean, with just these prompts and a few codes, for example, like, you know, putting imagine in front of your prompt in AI art, it's amazing what you can do. So I learned all about textures and patterns and how to mark up photographs and the correct formatting for all the different social networks. I didn't realize that they had specific formats. Now I know. So, never too old to learn at 62. And I figure I might as well, because I'm sitting here, you know, with this, you know, my fractured hip is supposedly going to be repaired July 31st finally. But I don't want to be a bump on a log. I am on the fence as to whether I'm going to go to the Fish concert on July 4th. I have some friends that have apparently box seats, and they may have an extra ticket. The last time I saw them was in the 80s. So, there you go. I think it's just about done. It's just kind of doing, I think, the final touch-up on all the letters. But, man, does that look good. Now, I've got a couple extra cameras, so I'm going to put one here and an overhead view. So when it does the, I think I can set them to do time-lapse as well. There are 4 cameras in here, but I haven't figured out how to get those to work. But I know also with that P1P, I don't believe it has a camera. So if I can figure out how to do all that, I'll make a video, because there are a lot of people that would like to add the camera to their printers, because it sure is nice to be able to monitor it. I'm not sure if that, you know, how advanced the P1PS is. I think it came out after the X1Cs. But what's nice about the X1Cs and these H2Ds, if they have what's called spaghetti, there's spaghetti detection, so it will stop. So you don't wind up having a roll of filament all over the place. The cat would love it, but you know, most 3D printers don't. So I'm just seeing there can't be very many more. So that little square back there is it's called a tower. And what it does is it throws down a little bit of filament, so it preps it. So you get a nice clean layer of filament. I'm sure hoping, it's either my eyes, I'm hoping my iPhone doesn't have a blur in it. And I should probably go ahead and close this because it makes a difference. Now on this H2D, it has special venting up here. Kind of reminds me of like a Porsche whale tail that lifts up. So the temperature is perfect. And actually this is a great view to see what's happening down there. I'll maybe let it run a little bit. And then here comes our chief inspector, Bella. Hey, Bella. So with that being said, she's like, get to bed, Dad. So it looks like I'm going to be able to get to bed here. I'm going to start another print. This will be all done here in just a couple minutes. Final touches on this, which is great. I really like this touchscreen feature too. So it tells you all your information here. The bed temperature, the filament, how much time you have left, and it shows the layout. Now, say you have a one of those objects in there becomes cockaroo. You can use the touchscreen and go ahead, pause the print, and then delete that from your print. And I don't know if any other printers have that feature, which is kind of nice. So it'll continue to print the other objects so you don't have to start everything over from scratch. And I've had that happen a couple times. One of the keys that I found is using the proper glue. And this Magic Goo works really well. And it dries clear. Another thing I had happen tonight, and I'll probably make a video on this because I'm learning how to use a hot glue gun. So I'm making these vases and they're turning out, I mean, incredible. Let's see, I can kind of show you here one of them. So this is one of the bowls. I think I told you guys the story. My assistant, Lori, has 15 grandkids and 5 kids. And so the kids come over and I give them little trinkets. And they had to put their dog Floki down the other day. They were really upset. And they asked if I could make it kind of brought tears to my eye because I think of my little Yoda cat. And they asked if I could make a 3D plaque. And so with the one boy, Brandon, we designed this. And then little Jackson, I gave him one of those robot dogs, which, just to cheer him up. And so it turned out really well. So I take a 2D photograph and then use Bamboo Labs software to convert it into a 3D print. And what I was going to do, I think because I spent so much time on that, they're going to be really happy with that. It'll be a little keepsake, for them. But I was thinking, because here's my vases. I'm sorry I'm switching subjects here, but I'm just excited at what I'm doing. So this is one of the vases. And if you look at the detail of these, I use a lot of mathematics and then the vase making software to set everything up. And there are some template examples in there. And what I really like about 3D printing is the sharing that everybody does. And what I do is I designed that one from scratch. So I'll probably share that design with the world for free eventually. But I think these bowls are, Tiffany quality. Like they could probably make a casting and we can sell these. The bottom of it was the only thing that didn't turn out well. I'm still learning how to do it because it is so delicate, right? And it takes about 5.5 to 6 hours to print. I'm still learning, so I'm going to have to figure out how to do, double layers on these. But they're turning out just beautiful, and I made those for my mom. I was thinking of making the kids, for the little guy, I'll probably make it like a ship in a bottle for him, where we put down a little picture of Floki down in there so he can look at him. But we'll see. I think this plaque will be more, that should be good enough. They'll be very happy with that. I would. So that was, just a design we did. And then I had to set all the different colors. So it's 4 different colors there. But, it's a pretty neat way. Because, when we lose our pets, it's one of the most difficult things I've ever been through. And I can't imagine for those kids. You know, because cats live longer than dogs. I mean, they had to put him down because he was a little rascal, you know. He was a rowdy dog and he started biting. And so I think that they made the right decision there. You can't have a hostile animal, you know. And you certainly can't take him to, you know, the Dumb Friends League and it making someone else's problem. So as you can see, our project is complete. Another successful endeavor at the black hole here. You get that little beep and that means it's good. And then I just let it sit here and cool down. And that gives it a little bit of strength. So, hey, appreciate everybody's business and patience. I've got some neat next projects coming up on deck. And stay tuned. More fun stuff to come from the black hole.